Now, for more updates, UNICEF Nigeria representative Christian Monduote joins me on the news. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much. And congratulations for you to bringing this into the news. It is very important that the population in Maiduguri can have access to information that will prevent several outbreaks of diseases if we jointly know how to deal with the aftermath of the floods. But I wanted...
And let's talk about the aftermath of the flood, like you've just mentioned. Looking at the scale of the disaster, we understand that 40% of Maiduguri was flooded or has been flooded. And then we also know that neighboring states as well are also flooded, for example, Kaduna. Just looking at the scale and the magnitude of this disaster, could we term this a global emergency?
Well, if the rains continue with the severity they have been, definitely we will have more states in emergency situation. We have already, as you said, Kaduna, but we have Jigawa and we have Bauchi. Of course, out of all, the one that has been with major impact is the one that happened in Maiduguri due to the collapse of the dam. I want to say that congratulations, our respects to the government of Borno, because they have rapidly stepped in. And we are working together. There are some shelters that have been activated where people are still arriving, because there is a lot of displaced people whose houses were flooded. But yes, if the weather continues, the rainy season continues the way it is, unfortunately, we are foreseeing that there will be more floods.
All right, so let's talk about, because you said you're on ground. We know that schools have been affected, and once schools are affected, that's basically, it means that children are also affected. They won't be able to continue with learning in the meantime. What would be your recommendation in that regard, and would UNICEF be getting involved?
Okay, so for example, in the case of Maiduguri, what they're reopening the places where IDPs were staying some time back. So at this moment, there are no schools that have been used as shelters. Of course, in other states where they don't have this type of facilities, some schools might have been habilitated to receive people who need a shelter. Definitely, this will interrupt the school year, and that is why one of the reasons as well were that we have been working a lot on alternative learning pathways. So the Nigeria Learning Passport is a sort of easy program that you can access with some devices or phones that we can bring even to the shelters, so children can still keep learning. But in these first days after a flood, we need first to ensure that people are safe. Second, that people's health is okay. Third, that we can prevent diseases and outbreaks such as malaria, cholera, gastrointestinal diseases, and of course we have to take care of the protection of children and women. There is a high risk of acts of violence against them, and definitely as the situation, I wouldn't say the situation improves, because these are people that are out of their home. But as the situation comes a little bit stable, then we go in with education.
Thank you so much for your time. UNICEF Nigeria representative Christian Monduote.